cheating.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
Hopefully my phone doesn't fall. It's just sort of teetering there, but hopefully we should be good.
oh, for sure, looks great. Sounds good too. We'll just jump right into it. I mean, it's what time is it there where you're at in the world?
10 o'clock, not bad.
Okay, early in the morning. So what are you up to today?
Oh, not much. Just getting the tour bus ready to go. We're heading out on the 10th of November to Winnipeg, and then we're using our bus to go from Winnipeg to Edmonton, and then we're meeting another bus. So I got to make sure mine runs.
So I mean, you guys have been going. You're a duo. I treat you guys like Hall and Oates, right? There's Hall and Oates and Paul Simon and Garfunkel, and then you guys on the countryside. How do you keep it going? How do you keep it? Not to say that you're the veterans of, say, Lone Star or Sawyer Brown, but how do you keep it interesting day to day so it doesn't become a day job?
Well, I think it's because Dave and I have always strived to do something different. I mean, even right from, we're celebrating 20 years of Rocket Girl, and that 20 years ago we recorded Rocket Girl because it was different. We didn't think it was going to be a radio hit, but it was just a great song, and then it ended up working. And I've been telling people lately that I think the success of Rocket Girl, being that it was a different song at the time, gave Dave and I the freedom to, explore songs like Driving to the Brakes on That Train and a lot of different maybe risky kind of songs. But I think that's what keeps it interesting. If you just do the same thing for 20 years, you're not going to want to do it anymore.
Well, and I'd imagine that early success too just gave you that confidence to go, hey, we know, at least people think we know what we're doing, and away we go.
Yeah, exactly.
We're fooling them again.
Yeah, exactly.
No, very good. I mean, talking to a lot of artists, mainly because some of technology based because of the pandemic. But how did you keep busy? Well, both you guys during the pandemic, did you get down and take advantage of the downtime as far as no live?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we turned everything off for about a year and a half. Like, we didn't write that much. We'd had a couple of singles, a couple of songs that we had recorded right before the pandemic. And then, I think after so many years of touring and playing, we never want to stop, but when you're told to stop, I think we took advantage of it. Like, I've got a campground that I own up on Lake Manitoba that I expanded during the pandemic and got to spend time with a lot of people out there.
Oh, wow.
While you could still social distance. So for me, it was a really, really nice kind of breather. And I think for a lot of artists, when we started getting back on the road, we did a show with Dallas Smith out in the East Coast, and a lot of his band are from Winnipeg. Yeah. And, they were like, you could tell everybody was excited again, because you spend so many years of just go, 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 go. Everybody was super excited to be able to play again.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing if, with Doc Walker, you got to stop touring for a bit. Meanwhile, U2 and the Rolling Stones are still going. Everybody was told to knock it off, right? So it's I hate to use the word reset, but it's a good reset that way, right?
Well, so we didn't really go too far into the social media live concert on via websites or like that, because I just when it came out, management and agents were like, "Oh, you need to do this." So I'm like, there's so much of it right now.
Sure.
That I think we're just going to take a break and watch it.
Yeah, and watch some of it too, right? And on that note, I mean, you're going on road with a couple legendary groups as far as Lone Star, and certainly Mark Miller and Sawyer Brown. You've toured with them before, and obviously shared the stage, so to speak. What do you learn from acts like when again you're well established yourself, but what do you guys learn from just watching and catching that Lone Star vibe, and then the same with Sawyer Brown?
Well, we did a show with Lone Star a month ago, and I mean, I don't think I've ever been to a Lone Star concert until a month ago, and I was blown away. Like, I mean, and same thing with Sawyer Brown a couple of years ago. We played with them just to see how serious they take it after that many years, and it kind of gives us a good feeling, because that's what we do. You have fans coming out that are paying good money to see a show, and you have to take that serious. And you see the bands like them that do carry on touring and stay alive, it's because they care. And I think we're on the right track.
Well, and Sawyer Brown, not that they don't take it serious, but I can't think of a band that doesn't have more fun in that live presentation. And I guess that can be put at the foot of the front man a little bit, but certainly they're at the same time very professional, even though it's a party on stage, right?
Absolutely.
So just noticing as you guys are making the tour, Portage Online was doing the best Doc Walker songs ever, and they were paring them down to, and it got down to, well, it got down to Rocket Girl, of course. But what are some of your favorites that are maybe not the ones that the fans like?
Well, I think, there's a bunch of B-side tracks that are my favorite. And I think what I would like to do and what we've been talking about doing is kind of lost docs.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Well, B-side tracks, because what Dave and I like, when we make a record, there was 10 or 12 songs and you only released 4. But we were really dead against just filling a record, just to have a record. So a lot of the B-side tracks were songs like Rocket Girl that we never thought was going to get on the radio, but we loved it. So there's songs like Park the Car, which is off of, I think that's on the Weather Vane record, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's so many on the 16-in-1 record that they're just really good songs that we knew weren't going to be on radio, but I think fans need to hear, because if they're fans that like our stuff, then I think they're going to like what we like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and on that note, for anybody that hasn't been to a Doc Walker show, what are they going to get as far as a live presentation, and then what are they going to see on tour? Because Lord knows, like you say, you've got you're rolling with a few dudes here on this one.
Yeah, well, it's going to be quick. I mean, we're getting 4 acts. George Canyon is coming along. I'm not sure if he's on all the dates, but the good thing is we've done shows with Aaron Pritchett and Emerson Drive, and it was seamless. And I think this is going to be the same kind of tour where you're just going to hear hit after hit after hit, and a lot of fun.
No, very good. And on that note, I mean, is new music something that is on the horizon? As far as I know, there's some singles and obviously the redo of Rocket Girl, but is there new music being worked on, or as far as studio time being booked?
Oh, for sure. We've got it. Like I said, we had a couple songs recorded before the pandemic. And the thing is with our stuff, we've always tried to make the songs and the recording a little bit timeless. So even if it was 2 years ago, it's the same thing that we'd be writing now.
Sure.
So we've got a couple of those songs ready to go. We're getting together with Murray after the tour, just after Christmas, to do a bunch of writing. So we're going to be back in the studio probably come February. And I'd really like to get into this Lost Docs things more on a social media place, where maybe Dave and I just do acoustic versions of our favorite Doc Walker songs that haven't been out on radio.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
So, I mean, just wrapping up here, you're going to be obviously working your way across Canada. You've done tours before across Canada, yes?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you were growing up, and I mean, this is pre-90s and pre-Doc Walker in Manitoba, is this something you thought, oh my God, and forgetting the pandemic, but in 2022, you're going to be, rocking and rolling with Lone Star and Sawyer Brown? Is that something that ever crossed your desk way back when as a kid?
I've got a quick funny story for you, and you're going to have to watch for it in our social media.
Okay.
Years ago, we went down to Grand Forks. My parents would take us shopping down in North Dakota, and I must have been 8 or 10 years old, and these 2 tour buses come driving into the hotel, and it says Sawyer Brown on the side.
Okay.
And I heard of them. So anyway, my dad takes me over, and we're looking at these tour buses, and the bus driver says, "Hey, do you want to get a picture standing inside the bus?" So I have a picture of me at like 8, 10 years old standing in Sawyer Brown's bus. So I'm going to try to get another picture with Mark on the tour. But yeah, ever since I could remember, I was playing guitar and singing. So seeing these 2 Eagle tour buses pull in, it's memories like that kind of kept me going throughout the years.
Well, it's a circle that comes around, doesn't it?
Exactly.
And just on that note, on how you guys do write, is it a case of writing on key guitars, or is it a keyboard thing as far as generating music, or is it all over?
Could be anything, I mean, I'll write down a bunch of ideas, and then I'll just send Dave some ideas. We don't sit down and try to write a song in a day,
No, it's not Lennon and McCartney. Yeah.
No, we take our time and sort of craft the song. Dave's more of a, I guess you could call him a thinker than I am. Like he really knows the craft of writing. I'm just the guy that doesn't stop talking in the corner.
And then when it comes to dividing up lyrics, is that a case of, okay, one of you has a better idea and then just agree to, that's the way it's going to go kind of thing?
Yeah, we've never really disagreed on anything like that, because I think we both know that whatever's best for the song ends up going in there. So, and it's pretty obvious if there's a good line, if I beat it, he likes it. If I got a good line and he writes a better one, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's always another song anyway, right? If it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
No, thanks very much for your time this morning, Chris. And obviously we'll see you when you hit mile zero here in Dawson Creek in November.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you guys then.
Awesome. Have a great one. Thanks again.
Okay, bye.
Take care.